Well, hello, this is John Yates, and I chair the technology practice at the law firm of Morris, Manning & Martin. And I'm pleased today to introduce my colleague, Nick Forrest, who will be handling the interview with one of our very exciting clients who just closed a round of financing. So, Nick, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thanks, John. Welcome to another episode of MMM Tech Law and Business Report. Today, we'll be interviewing Ortez Gude, CEO of Citiri out of Atlanta. Ortez, it's great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Good seeing you as well. Glad to be a part of the interview today.
Awesome. So Ortez, let's kick it off with a quick elevator pitch. Tell us a little bit about your company and maybe how you came up with the business model.
Sure. So the way that we describe our business is that we really target construction owners, right? And so for construction owners that are looking to save money on their capital programs and also increase their operational capacity, Citiri is basically an operational readiness management platform. And what that means is we've kind of collected a best practice framework that we've automated in our software platform that's really aimed at the operational readiness and the activation teams within these construction owners. It helps them to take care of all the elements that are required to take a construction project and bring it into successful operations.
Very cool. So what makes the solution unique? How's your platform different than others out there trying to solve the same issue?
So, for us, I'd say, first of all, the thing that makes us unique is that we're exclusively focused on the construction owner. When you think about those other construction management or project management, program management products that are on the market today, they really focus on the contractor-driven processes, right? So schedule and budget and scope, typically. What Citiri does differently is that we really focus on the operational aspects of a construction project. So when you think about construction from an owner's perspective, there are literally thousands of activities that the owners are responsible for carrying out over the course of that construction project. What Citiri does is provide them with a framework that allows them to ensure the finished product is aligned with their operational needs and their purpose for even taking on that project. At the end of the day, if you don't pay attention to those elements, then you're pretty much guaranteed to have cost overruns and schedule delays, no matter how well you're focusing on the budget and the schedule.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So being in the construction space, and I know you have given your background here, your virtual background, you do have a focus on airports. So let's talk about it. How's the pandemic been impacted your growth plans, and how have you sort of adjusted to be able to cope with everything going on?
Absolutely. So it's interesting, right? So when we got our start, we wanted to make sure that we focused on something that we felt we could have a little bit of a moat around the market while we kind of figured out the path forward. But it's always been in our plans to move into other markets, right? Complex construction exists beyond airports, but airports was where we got our start. And so we've had some really good successes there. We're working with LAX, we're working with San Francisco, SeaTac, and others, and some of the big program management firms that are managing those projects on behalf of the airport owners, such as Jacobs and AECOM, for example. And so with the pandemic, I think one of the things that we've seen, obviously when it first started to unfold, we're sitting there and saying, okay, what does this mean for us? Is the sky about to fall while the ground's crumbling beneath us, right? Revenues are down 97% across the board. And how are they going to pay for these massive billion-dollar projects? And what we've benefited from is having a really strong group of advisors. So Ben DaCosta, for example, is one of our advisors, who is the only person in the world to have run the world's busiest airport for 11 years and under 3 different administrations, which says a lot, especially here in Atlanta. So Ben, we kind of went and said, it's time for us to all hands on deck. We, went dark, drew the blinds, got everyone around the table, and really looked at the market to figure out what was likely to unfold. And coming out of that, Ben's insight really helped us to navigate the mechanics of the funding of these projects. And really, one of the things that really has stood out, so first of all of our existing customers are stable, and we've actually been renewing them along the way. So it's been very good for us. And so the way that these bonds that are used to finance these airports are structured, they cannot redirect those funds. And for most of our customers, they're not doing these projects for aesthetics, right? They're doing these things because they're needed. And with that, no matter if the air traffic comes back next year or the year after, ultimately it will come back. They will get back to the normal levels. And even prior to the pandemic, most of our customers were already over capacity in terms of what they had. So those projects have continued. Now, I think from a global perspective, one of the things that we've really seen unfold is that the pandemic has really highlighted the importance of operational readiness and really made it front of mind for the executives in our target market. So they're paying more attention to it, and it's actually put us in a great position where we're now able to open up doors and conversations in areas that have been on our list and in our pipeline, but we've ended up reprioritizing and pulling some of those forward just because of where those projects are currently. So for us, we see it as actually being something that we're going to be able to continue to grow through. We've actually already expanded some of our existing customers. We've acquired a new customer through the process. So, for us, let's just say it's a lot better than what we thought it may have been at the onset.
That's good to hear. And not only are you acquiring new customers, but, fortunate enough to have to close the financing during the middle of all of this. So you recently raised capital from RCP Equity. You want to share a little bit about that experience and how that went?
Sure. So the pandemic has been interesting for us in a number of ways, not just because we happen to be in the aviation market to start with, but also obviously because we signed term sheets a week before the first flight started getting canceled. So needless to say, rightfully so, everyone said, let's see what's happening and make sure things are okay. And, interestingly enough, coming through that, again, we had already kind of pulled our team together from an advisory standpoint. And, we ended up going with RCP primarily because one of the things that was really important to myself and my co-founder, Colin Browning, was that we find a partner that could really help us to be a better company and to really grow, and not just as a company, but even individually. We wanted investors that would challenge us to be better at our jobs, for me to be a better CEO, my co-founder to be a better CTO. And so that was a big part of what we were looking for. And so because of that, we felt it made sense for us to pull the investors into our conversations with our advisors. So they were right there being a part of those same conversations every step of the way. Even though we pressed pause for a bit in terms of the process, we still continue to engage with them on an almost daily basis. They were there in our strategy meetings and our planning sessions. And I think that helped a lot. So it helped them obviously to get comfort. We ended up ultimately moving forward and getting closed. So we've been incredibly grateful and have a lot of gratitude around being able to get that move forward and get it done. We're excited about how we'll be able to deploy that and continue to take advantage of the opportunities that we see ahead of us here.
Very cool. Well, congratulations on getting that closed. And I'm sure, the transparency along the way made all the difference. So
yeah.
Anyways, thanks for the time, Ortez. Really enjoyed the conversation. I know John and I are looking forward to seeing what's next for you guys as you continue to grow moving forward.
Nick and John, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Glad we could participate with you guys today. We're excited and we appreciate all the help you guys have lent along the way as well. It's been a big part of us getting this deal done.
Absolutely. Glad to do it.